I discovered a weird way to flood your website with traffic, and all it takes is just $2. That's $2 a day and a little bit of AI. Now, the cool thing about this strategy is that it's not begging for clicks from Google. It's not making tons of silly AI faceless videos. It's not spending a fortune on expensive advertising. Now, all of these things can work, but let's face it, they can be difficult, they can be challenging, and they can be very, very expensive. So I have a brand new strategy that I'm going to share with you in this video that it is not expensive, it is not difficult, and it uses AI to do something quite amazing. Now, I personally know this works because I've used the method myself to blow up a secret network of websites. And I've gotten hundreds of millions of visitors to those sites using this exact strategy that I'm about to show you. And with the help of AI, you can do this even if you know nothing about driving traffic. Even if you have 0 followers, no email list, and no clue where to get started. Heck, even if you know nothing about AI, by the time you're done watching this video, you will be able to take just $2, combine it with some simple AI copy and paste prompts that I'm going to give you, and you can start getting traffic to your business fast. And that's exactly why you're going to want to stick around to the end so that you can claim these prompts and the bonus secret money making method that I am going to reveal to you at the end. If you want to know how do you take this traffic and transform it into money, I got you covered. We'll talk about that. That's our bonus at the end. And if you didn't know, I'm Bill McIntosh. Over the last 25 years, I've generated over $100 million in revenue online myself. And now I teach entrepreneurs how to harness AI to launch and scale businesses. So are you ready? Then let's dive in. All right, awesome. So I have a special slide deck that I'm using for this. You can see that over there. We'll talk in a minute about how you can get a copy of it for free. But let's just get straight into the training, shall we? Now, we're going to be talking about how to get traffic. As I said before, this is an example of that. So this was just one of my sites that you can see right here. Just one single site got 26 million visitors to this specific site using the exact strategy that I am about to show you. Okay. Now, it all starts out with making sure that you're in the right market. You know, people call this your niche market, and it's important that you're in a niche market that is somewhat broad in order to do this. Now, the beauty of this strategy is that it works phenomenally well in really large markets. So if you're a very broad market like health or weight loss, you know, a diet thing, any kind of make money type of thing, cosmetic surgery, anything that the broad general public is interested in, this works amazingly well. And then as the markets get smaller and smaller, you can't reach, like you see here, with 26 million people. If you're in a small market, obviously you're going to get in front of a smaller group of people. But if you want to snatch up tens or hundreds of millions of visitors like I have, then the bigger markets are fantastic. So you want to pick the right market to serve. And if you haven't yet set up your business and you don't yet know what market you want to go into, then I highly recommend you go into larger markets. And so we want to go into markets that have problems that people want to solve and goals that they want to achieve. Now, one thing I will tell you is it's important for this strategy, you want to kind of avoid topics or uncomfortable niche markets that people are not going to want to talk about online. Because the strategy I'm going to show you, we want to tap into people that are sharing, commenting, and other things. So it's super important that we use it in a way that's not embarrassing for someone to share or comment or interact with your content. So it's important to think about that if you're picking a niche market, how to fix hemorrhoids market is probably not going to be a great fit for this because people will not share or comment or engage with that content because of embarrassment, right? And you do want to dive into a market that has problems to solve that you can help them with simple content that I'm going to show you how to make, okay? Which, by the way, do you know what niche market you're going to work in? Let me know in the comments. What niche are you interested in getting traffic for? Let me know. I can give you some personalized advice based upon what you answer down there. So drop into the comments and let us know which niche market are you interested in? And I'll personalize and give you some advice down there in the comments. And so some of the things that you can pick are things like hobbies you enjoy. Maybe you have a skill or a day job that you're interested in, a problem you know how to solve for others. One of the things that I want to let you know is don't go with the advice that people give you about niching down into small, hyper-specific markets. For what we want to do here, bigger, broader is better. So if you're in a really specific market, follow the advice I'm about to give you. Can you kind of broaden it out a little bit if you're in a really small market? And by the way, if you'd like to download this playbook, the one I'm showing you right here, it's got links and references. and it has the prompts that I'm going to be showing you how to use with AI. All that's included. All you need to do is head to pushbutton.ai/subscribe to get your copy of this deck. And then I'll drop a link down in the comments below and also in our description so you can get it there as well. But you can head on over there and you can download a copy of this deck yourself so you can get the prompts, the links, and everything that's included. Okay. Now, one of the things that you need to do is you have to establish what I call your 10 PGB. And that stands for the top 10 problems, goals, and benefits that your niche is looking for. And so when we're talking about problems, we're looking for 5 urgent pain points, frustrations, or things that people really want to solve in your niche market. So let's say an example, might be the weight loss market. So a problem someone might want to solve is that they want to look better. They're upset with how they look. They want to appear more attractive. That's a problem. And so that could be an example of a problem. Another potential problem could be that they have health concerns. Maybe they're having concerns about they can't walk around the block without running out of breath. They're concerned about how their weight is going to affect their longevity. All the negative aspects of wanting to lose weight are the problems. And so we want to pick 5 of the top problems that you can find in your niche. And then the G stands for goals. And this is kind of the positive things that your market is trying to achieve. And we're going to pick 5 of those as well. Okay. So for those, we're looking for positive things like how they're going to feel after they lose the weight. They're going to have confidence. They're going to feel more attractive. They're going to feel more energetic. These are positive feelings and things that they're going to achieve and have. And those are the goals. So we want 5 negatives, 5 positives, and then we want the benefits, which are different than the problems or goals. We want the benefits for each of those. So we're going to get 10 benefits. So once the person handles their concern about longevity, then the benefit of that would be, let's say that you lose weight so that you can live longer. The benefit of living longer is you can spend more time with your grandkids or with your family, or you don't have to worry about leaving your loved ones behind, whatever that final end result. Once you solve the problem or once you achieve the goal, what's the feeling, the final end result that the person is going to feel, and how are they going to be thinking, and what they're going to have, so there could be physical, tangible benefits. There could be emotional benefits, but that's the final end result, that the benefit they get by solving the problem or achieving the goal. So we want to list all of these down. Just make a simple list. You can put it in like a notepad, or if you want to put it into a spreadsheet or whatever you want to do it. So you're going to have 10 of these, a set of 10, 5 problems, 5 goals, and then all their benefits. We're going to take these and we're going to be using these to get you traffic. Because here is the thing. When you tap into this is the secret psychology of what makes someone click on the internet. So when you speak to their insight internally, when they know their problems, they know their goals, they may not even tell their family and friends about some of these things, but they have them deep inside. And so when they see something, as they're scrolling through their timeline or they're on the internet looking around, when they see something that speaks to them about these deep-seated desires, they click. So this is why it's really important we focus on these things while using this traffic strategy that I'm about to show you. Now, some examples. A problem could be that my dog barks all night, right? The benefit of solving that would be a peaceful home and happy neighbors. Also in the dog training niche, a potential problem could be the dog pulls on the leash. The benefit to that would be enjoying stress-free walks. And then those are some examples, right? And then here, if you don't know how to find these, you can use AI. And here is a very simple prompt here. I'll show it on the screen here. But if you would like to download this, remember, you can get a copy of this deck. And this is just one of several AI copy and paste prompts that we're going to give you. So make sure you download that deck. The link is in the description and in the comments below, and you can get your copy of this deck. But there is the prompt. And this will help you. If you're not sure what your problems and goals are, what your 10 PGB is, you're having trouble pulling it together, this prompt is fantastic. You can copy and paste it into ChatGPT or Google Gemini or Claude or any of the chat-based AI tools, and they will give you some amazing problems, goals, and benefits for your market. Okay? Now, step 3, we're going to use AI to forge what are called pillar posts, and we have 10 of those. So we have 10 of these pillar posts, and we're going to make them on your website. So we're going to create a piece of content, one for each of the 10 problems, goals, and benefits. Remember, we're going to do 10 of them, okay? So one for each of those 10 problems, goals, and benefits, and we're going to use AI to do it. So don't worry if you're not good at writing and the idea of writing 10 articles is a little overwhelming for you, don't worry. We're going to get AI to do it for you. I'll share the prompts in a minute. So these pillar posts, they should be evergreen. Okay, it should be an evergreen article. It shouldn't be timely so that it only works in the summer or the winter or something like that. It shouldn't be based on a trend or a fad. These are the problems, goals that your audience has that are timeless. And we're going to make one for each of the problem, goals, and benefit. Inside the article that you're about to write, you're going to take one pain point or goal. You're going to deliver real value in that article. And again, if you're worried about this, don't worry. AI can do a great job of this for you. And I have a prompt that you can use to do it. Okay. So you want to make this be like your cornerstone piece. This is going to be a longer article, jam-packed with value and information. The beauty of this is this article actually doubles as a landing page. So we're going to be sending traffic to this article that speaks to one of these deep-seated emotional problems or goals that your market has. And we're going to be using this to send traffic to it. And it'll all make sense as to why we're doing this as we continue on. Okay. So now you think of your pillar posts as a home base for one specific problem or goal. Okay. It's going to attract both organic free traffic. When you follow my instructions, you're going to get traffic for free, but it's also going to serve as the place that you're going to spend just $2 to send some paid visitors there following a simple Facebook strategy I'll show you in a minute. Okay. Which, by the way, you want to deep dive on this, because this concept that I'm covering here about 10 PGB and focusing in on problems and goals it's a really important part of starting and scaling and growing a successful business. Would you like a deep dive on that? Let me know in the comments. Drop it in there if you want me to do. I can do another video and we could do a really in-depth deep dive on the inside psychology of what gets people to click and buy from you, if you'd like. But let me know in the comments. Okay, so here is our article prompts. And what we're going to do is we're going to make a giant list of potential articles that we can write, and then we're going to write 10 of them based on these problems and goals. You can see I'll leave the prompts on the screen here if you'd like to see them. Again, all of these are downloadable when you get the deck. If you'd like these, download the deck, become a subscriber to Ingeniosity. That's how you get it, by the way. It's free. You subscribe to the newsletter. We call it Ingeniosity. We send you content each week about how to build and grow your business. And if you sign up, you get that for free. So here is the steps on using AI to write your article. We're going to prime it, have it do a deep dive, come up with blog post ideas, keywords. We're going to outline the blog post. Then it's going to draft your article and finish it. And it's really simple. This process right here, it takes about 5 minutes per article. So if you follow these prompts, 5 minutes or less, you have your 10 PGB piece of content, your pillar post. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to post those to your website. Now, when clients work with me, we build their sites on WordPress, which makes it really easy to just go into WordPress. You say new post, paste the copy and paste the title in, copy and paste the article in, and hit publish. And that's that. It's really simple in WordPress. So depending on what kind of tool you're using to build your website, hopefully it's just as simple as that. Now, the beauty is we're going to now just take the link to this and share it on Facebook. And you know what? Let me just open this up here. And so here's an example of one of my sites and one of my pages. And so we're going to now switch in and I'll show you how you do this. So you just want to be acting as your business page that you have set up in Facebook. And we come over here and we take an article. So let's say, for example, this one right here. So here's an example of an article. We're going to take our link. We're going to copy it. We're going to come over here to Facebook and we're just going to post it just like you share a regular old post. We just say some amazing advice on selling products through GPT. Okay, just gonna make it type a really simple conversational introduction, and we're gonna paste our link in here, right? Just copy paste, just like that. And so we do that. We're gonna hit next. We'll leave everything pretty much as the default settings. Now you might be able to use this boost post toggle here. We'll talk about that in a minute. But for now, let's just post this. Give it a moment here, and then it should appear. There it is. It has now appeared on our timeline. There we go. So now we have used our 10 PGB to create an article. We've copy and pasted that link onto Facebook, and we're ready to go on to the next step. Step 6. We are going to boost this Facebook post by spending $2 a day. Now, I want to talk a little bit about this because we're going to be speaking about Facebook ads here. But if you're not familiar with Facebook ads or you want a refresher on it, let me know. Drop in the comments down there below and let me know, would you like some deep dive training on how to actually use Facebook ads. Again, maybe you used them in the past, you need a refresher, or maybe you've never placed a Facebook ad before. I would be happy to do some training to really dig in and show you how to get great results with Facebook ads. If you're interested, I can make a video here on the channel. Just again, drop that comment down below and let me know. Would you like some in-depth training about Facebook ads? But for this strategy that we're using here, all we are going to do is, what I like to do is I go into my Facebook ad manager and I will then place an ad. And when you make an ad in Facebook, one of the choices that you have is you can advertise on an existing post. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that post that I just made and I'm going to put an ad on it, and I'm going to just spend $2 a day. Okay. Now, if you can budget more, spend more, but you can do it for as little as $2. So typically for me, it's usually somewhere between $2 and as much as $10 per day for this strategy. We're going to you could use Boost Post. I rather that you not use Boost Post. It's better if we instead put an ad on the post through the Facebook advertising platform. I'll talk about why that is in a minute, but if you need to, if that scares you a bit about having to use the Facebook advertising system, then you can use the Boost Post button. That still can work, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to make an ad, and Facebook calls them your objective, what you want your ad to do. We want to select engagement, and specifically we want what's called post engagement. And what that does is that means Facebook is going to make an ad, and they're going to put it in front of people that are likely to comment, to share, and to click, right? Which is what we want. We want comments, we want shares, we want clicks. Now, why do we want this? Obviously, we want the traffic, but that sends signals to Facebook about our post, okay? So we've made an organic free post, and now we're going to use ads by spending just a little bit of money. We're going to force the Facebook algorithm to recognize that post because it's going to see shares, it's going to see clicks, it's going to see comments, it's going to see activity. And then Facebook will boost it and give you more free views. Usually what I see is that, let's say I get 100 clicks from my paid advertising, I might get 1,000 or 2,000 or 5,000 clicks organically as that post takes off in the marketplace. Now, one of the things that make these posts work really well is, again, you've tapped into their psychology of their biggest deep-seated problems and their really important goals that they want to achieve, and you've got an article that's going to help them with that. So you tend to get a really good reaction, and you tend to get a lot of clicks and engagement because you've tapped into that 10 PGB that I talked about earlier. We're going to do this basically over and over again. So we put the budget, by the way, at $2 a day, or up to 10 if you have, if your budget can afford it. And we let that run for 3 days. Okay. So we let it run for 3 days, and then we come back and take a look. And if we're happy with the results, if we can see that that post is getting clicks, that our $2 got us a good amount of traffic, we let the ad run. We just let it keep on going. So you want there to be 3 full days. So not like 2.5, but 3 entirely full calendar days of ads running on that post. So you can even make it as much as 5, but 3 minimum. So after 3 full days, you can come back and look, and then you can decide if you're satisfied with the results. And if you are, you'll let the ad keep running. If you're not, you just pause it and you just stop the ad, and that stops the spend. Now, what you'll find is even if you stop the spend, you will still get a residual amount of free traffic that will keep coming to your post after you've paused the ad. But it does slow down, and eventually will kind of peter out at the end, okay? Now, we're going to repeat this 10 times, okay? We have 10 pillar posts that you made following the earlier strategy I showed up there, right? So we're going to just repeat this cycle 10 times. And this is dependent upon you. If you have time to sit down and bust them all out in a day and you got the budget to put ads behind all of them, go for it. If you want to spread it out, you want to do 1 a day, 1 every other day, 1 every 3 days, you can do that. So you do it at your pace. And obviously, the faster you do it, the faster you get results, the faster you can measure what's working and what's not working. But you definitely want to do all 10 of them. Okay. And it's really important because we're going to be taking a look at the results, and it's important our next steps, what we're going to do with these posts. Okay. Which, by the way, here are some guidelines that we really like to look at on our results. And what I like to zero in at is our link click-through rate. I love comments, I love shares, but what's really important and what helps me pay the bills is when people click and come to my website. So I look at our stats. We want to look at what's called our click-through rate on our link click-through rate. And if it is at below 2, if you don't have at least 2% of the people that Facebook is showing that ad to clicking your link, pause it, just get rid of it. If it's 2 to 4%, you can kind of keep it running, let it keep gathering data. And then if you're noticing you're getting 4% or more of the people that are seeing that post are clicking your link, and this is shown in the stats. I'll show you in a minute how to figure that out. Then you definitely want to expand it. Don't just leave it there, but grow it. Increase your spend. If you're spending $2 a day, put it to 5. If the results keep coming, then put it to 10, and slowly just keep ramping up your spending when you're seeing those high click-through rates, okay? So here's an example of one of these posts there. And we ran thousands of these kinds of ads to all kinds of different websites. I'm not really doing a deep dive into how to place Facebook ads for this training today. But if you want me to, again, just drop a comment below. If there's enough interest, enough people want me to, then I will do another video. I'll do a follow-up video. I'll show you step-by-step how to use the Facebook ads interface, all right? Now, step 7 is probably the most important step of all. And we want to adjust and scale the winners. So here is where we went from getting little bits of traffic here and there to getting millions of visitors, was from step 7 that you see right here, okay? What we want to do is we want to take clues from what's working. So if you notice that you've posted your 10 pillar posts, you did ads in those 10 posts, but one of them in particular is doing super well. It's getting lots of clicks. You're really happy with the result. You're getting a lot of engagement. You're ramping up your spending. That becomes a clue for what to do next. Because what we want to do now is make more articles on the same topic. And I think people get really freaked out that they think in social media, particularly in Facebook and other places like it, that you have to keep fresh, new, original content. So you might say, let's say my post on how to stop your dog from barking is doing really, really well. Well, I should come back and I should do 5 more posts about 5 different ways to stop your dog from barking. And I should just keep talking about how to stop your dog from barking over and over and over again until my posts stop working. And then I can move on to the next topic. So we take the winning topics and we double down and triple down and quadruple down and keep doing them. So you make a new article. Now this time you can make a shorter article. It doesn't have to be quite as long as your first pillar post, but you can make a new article about a different way to stop your dog from barking, or a different reason why you want to stop your dog from barking, or tell a story about a time you stopped your dog from barking, or whatever. But keep talking about that subject over and over and take clues from this. Evaluate your posts. Which ones are doing well? Which ones are not doing well? See if you can kind of figure out why. Maybe you'll notice a trend. Maybe you'll notice that when you are too aggressive in the training techniques that you talk about, you don't get a lot of clicks. But if the training techniques are very positive, positive reinforcement type techniques, those get tons of clicks. So then stop talking about, like negative ways to train your dog and start talking about more positive ways. So just take clues by watching what's working and what's not and see if you can figure out why. And you just do a lot more of what works and a lot less of what doesn't. And now let's say that you first did your first 10 pillar posts and 2 or 3 of them did really, really well. It is not unusual that 1 to 3 out of 10 posts do well, the rest do not. That is normal. So don't freak out if you did 10 posts and only a single one is doing well. That's a good thing. So this is what we would do. So we would do these 10 posts. We would end up usually pausing, so 7 to 9 of those posts would just totally get paused and we'd be not happy with them. But then 1 to 3 of them, of our 10, would do really well. And then it's by doubling down, tripling down, expanding budgets, and watching those things go viral is how we would get those millions and millions of visitors, and how you'll be able to do the same thing. This is the key. This is the part that no one pays attention to. Instead, what most people would do is they would do 10 posts, 10 ads. They'd see 9 of them didn't work, and they'd go, this is junk. This doesn't work. But that's where I look at things differently. And I don't look at it as, 9 out of 10 of these posts didn't work. I look at the one that did and expand it like mad. And that was the difference between how I did this type of advertising and still do, and how others will fail at this technique. So definitely pay close attention to step 7. And again, what we do is we slowly increase our ad spend on the posts and ads that are working. And then if your click-through rate holds, performance is holding, you just keep scaling, and do more posts on the same topic. And then what you end up doing, if you get this right, is you have like this self-correcting traffic system. You just keep putting stuff out there, switching topics, switching strategies, seeing what works, double down on what works, get rid of what doesn't. And then over time, this becomes a traffic powerhouse by setting it up almost like a system, which, by the way, would you like us to do this for you? This is something that we can do. I have a product that is about to come out. It is a tool suite that does everything that I just showed you here. Everything I just showed you, the tool just does it all for you. So we're going to talk more about it. At the time of recording this, it hasn't been launched yet. But if you're interested, I'll drop a link below. So again, let me know if you're interested in that in the comments too. When it's available, I'll drop a link in the comments below and in the description below, and you'll be able to go check that tool out. So we do have a tool that is coming out that you'll be able to do these steps. And the AI system does it all. It researches, it helps you write your titles, it writes your articles, it shares it on Facebook, it does your ads, it monitors your ads, it scales them up and down, it automates the whole entire process. If you're interested in that, let me know. It's not out yet, it is coming. Keep an eye on the space below. So by the time you watch this video, this tool may be released, and I'll drop a link to it down below, okay? But if it's not yet released, definitely let me know how interested you are in that. And with that, I want to let you know that if you got value from today's video, you probably are going to want to subscribe. You can see that down below. There's a red subscribe link. Got some use out of the training I gave you today, definitely become a subscriber. We're live. I do live training like this every single Wednesday, week after week, and I bring my $100 million worth of results and skill and background, and I come to you and help you live every Wednesday. And we release training all the time on this channel. And beyond that, make sure you drop a like and a comment down below. It really does help the YouTube algorithm. On that note, we have another video for you that I think is really, really important. Once you're getting traffic like this, it is a strategy that you definitely want to see. So I'll pop a link to that up above. Go check out that video. Goodbye for now.